This video starts off with Jeffy telling a pretty bad joke and then laughing at it as if it's the funniest thing in the world. It's not funny, dickhead. And after that, Jeffy tells Marvin that he wants to get a Rubik's Cube. Marvin assumes that he's mispronouncing Rubik's Cube and tries to correct him, but Jeffy insists that he's talking about a Rubik's Cube. They argue back and forth on how to pronounce Rubik's Cube, and eventually Marvin goes out to the store to buy a Rubik's Cube. Fun fact, I'm actually trying to solve a Rubik's Cube myself. Anyways, Marvin gets the Rubik's Cube, but Jeffy gets mad and pronounces Rubik's Cube correctly, implying that he was actually talking about something else other than a Rubik's Cube. So they go to the store and Jeffy shows him that he's talking about a board game called Rubik's Cube. Yup, there is this obscure board game that is almost pronounced like Rubik's Cube, but it's actually pronounced Rubik's Cube. So Marvin then goes to buy the Rubik's Cube board game, but then Jeffy sees a Squishmallow plush toy and wants it, but Marvin tells him that he's already buying the Rubik's Cube and isn't going to buy any other toy. Without any other options, Jeffy simply steals the Squishmallow plush toy and they head home. And when they do get home, Marvin notices that Jeffy is a little overweight. Jeffy gets defensive, saying that he's becoming overweight due to some hormone thing. But Marvin eventually takes out the Squishmallow that's under his shirt. He questions where did he get this, but Jeffy says that he's always had it. And Marvin, for some reason, believes him even though he saw this exact toy at Target. He asks Rose if he's seen this toy, and Rose says that he has a lot of toys, and then Jeffy says that Mommy has toys. A certain kind of toy. So Jeffy is allowed to take the Squishmallow, and Marvin asks Rose if they would like to unironically play Rubik's Cube. Meanwhile, Jeffy is all tired out because he loves the Squishmallow and he wants more of it. Then he realizes that he can actually take more by going to Target, putting them in the shirt, and stealing them. So now he gets a stealing problem. Marvin and Rose are trying to figure out how to actually play Rubik's Cube when Jeffy comes in saying that they need to go to Target to buy some Cheerios, but Marvin tells them that they already have Cheerios in the kitchen. Jeffy says no, so they go into the kitchen pantry to check to see if they have Cheerios. Sure enough they do, but Jeffy spills them all and says that they need to get Cheerios. So they go to Target and Jeffy tries to take a Squishmallow. Like before, he puts it under his shirt, Marvin doesn't notice, and they go ahead and buy a new box of Cheerios. So then they take it home and put it on the couch for some reason, and Marvin notices that he's got another Squishmallow under his shirt. He questions why Jeffy keeps putting them under his shirt, and Jeffy says that maybe he likes putting them under his shirt, because for some reason Marvin doesn't suspect that he might be stealing them. So Jeffy gets another Squishmallow, but it's not enough. He wants more Squishmallows, so he has a plan to get even more. This time by putting all of the toothpaste inside of the toilet. So now they gotta go to Target to buy even more toothpaste. So they both go to Target and Jeffy tries to take a Squishmallow, but Marvin then tells him to stop. And I just realized, why doesn't Marvin suspect anything? I mean, he brings these toys out of nowhere and he always goes to the toy aisle every time they go to Target. I'm starting to think Marvin isn't that smart. But at least Brooklyn guy is catching on that something suspicious is going on because he's checking the toy aisle, realizing that they're selling like hotcakes for some reason. So they get back home, they buy the toothpaste. Marvin notices that he has yet another Squishmallow. I'm surprised he hasn't noticed that he's getting all these Squishmallows conveniently after they go to Target. But it doesn't stop there. Jeffy wants more, so then we get a montage of Jeffy stealing a bunch of Squishmallows. Presumably all because he's doing something that requires Marvin and Jeffy to go to Target. I'm surprised Marvin doesn't realize that he's only going to the store just to buy all these Squishmallows. Even Rose calls out Marvin for this by saying that instead of going to Target every time they need to buy one item, he should just make a list of items and then buy them all at once. So he's prepared for next time. Brooklyn guy then shows up all pissed off, saying that Jeffy has been stealing the Squishmallows from the toy aisle. And there's a somewhat realistic explanation as to how Brooklyn guy found out. Sure, he could have looked at the security footage, but he also took notice that in their records of all of the things that have been bought in the day, he realizes that none of the Squishmallows have been bought, and yet they're disappearing off the shelves. A little bit of a fun fact, stores like to keep the records of everything they sell because obviously they kind of have to do it for tax purposes, but it's also convenient in case anything gets stolen and they realize that it hasn't been bought. So, you know, a little fun fact. But anyways, Jeffy might go to jail, so Marvin says that he should just pay for all the things, but they all cost $1,000. But he could also sell some animals too, but he's kidding because Target doesn't actually accept animals. And unfortunately, I'm not proud to admit this, but I did kind of fell for this. I know, I'll admit, I fell for this joke, but hey, I mean, come on, after all of the crazy things that happen in this world, is this so unexpected? But anyways, so then they go into Jeffy's room and they see all of the Squishmallows. Jeffy is guilty as charged. Brooklyn guy goes to smell to see if any of them have been rubbed by any wieners, and only one of them has wieners and some poopy stuff. So thankfully, Marvin only has to pay $40 for one of the Squishmallows, because otherwise he can just simply return the rest of the Squishmallows that Jeffy has stolen. So then Brooklyn guy gives a stern talking to Jeffy about how stealing is wrong, and the next time he does it, they're going to cut off his hands, because Target can legally do that. So Marvin tells Jeffy what was the lesson he learned. Jeffy learned that you shouldn't steal, and you should probably put your pee-pee in a Squishmallow. I like to take the time to answer this SML question. What is something that I collect? Well, you can see right here. Heck yeah, I collect Transformers figures.
So, Mafdominus, why do you collect Transformers figures?
Well, because, you know, everybody has to have a hobby. I love Transformers, I love the characters like Optimus Prime, so why not buy the toys of them?
Okay, I guess that kinda makes sense.
Yeah, it kinda does. Besides, have you seen my Godzilla collection? What?
Well, I personally love to collect dresses and makeup and all that stereotypical female stuff.
Oh, why?
Because, well, I know I'm beautiful, so why not be beautiful?
Oh, I guess that makes sense. Well, I like to collect rocks.
Wait, you like to collect rocks?
Yeah, I got gemstones, like amethyst.
Amethyst?
Yes, okay. Pure amethyst. Do you like it?
I mean, I guess it's pretty. I mean, a little bit of a weird hobby, but then again, I live with a guy who collects Transformers, so, you know, I guess it's not too bad.
Oh, look, pretty process.
Yeah, everybody's gotta collect something. I mean, whether it be spoons from different countries, or different glasses, or vases, or merchandise from theme parks, or even like me, where you collect toys and figures and figurines and stuff like that. Whatever it is that you're into collecting, don't stop. Everybody's gotta have a hobby, and we all love it when we all collect our favorite things. So anyways, what did I think about this video? I think this video was pretty good. Yeah, I know that sounds kinda weird because this is a Jeffy-centered video and I'm not the biggest fan of Jeffy. In fact, I'm one of the more vocal critics of Jeffy because obviously I don't like him as a character because he tends to be unfunny and he can do some pretty unlikable things. So yeah, everybody knows that I don't like Jeffy, but just because I don't like him doesn't mean that he can't have good videos from time to time. After all, if Jeffy does something funny, I'll admit it, he does something funny. Like back in 2016, where I saw Jeffy's Homework. That was a genuinely funny video, and everybody can agree that's one of Jeffy's best videos. Of course, in that video, he curses a lot, and nowadays, Jeffy's allowed to curse as much as he wants, but I think what makes it funny back then was because of how surprising it was for Jeffy to curse, when up until this point, Jeffy hasn't cursed at all, so it was unexpected, and it was funny at the time. But obviously, with all of the times Jeffy has cursed now, his cursing as a joke is kinda not funny anymore. So, what makes this video funny? What exactly intrigued me about this video? Well, it's the premise. Jeffy is going out to steal something from a store. A very simple premise, but with SML, it gets creative. For starters, how does this plot kick off? Because Jeffy wants a Rumacube. He's not mispronouncing Rubik's Cube, there is an obscure board game called Rumacube, and he wants it. And if it weren't for that, they wouldn't have gone to Target and Jeffy wouldn't have seen the Squishmallows that he really wants. So the video is already funny when the entire plot is kicked off just because Jeffy found out about an obscure board game and he wants it. And it gets creative as the video goes on because Jeffy is coming up with more excuses on how he's getting the Squishmallows. And it gets funnier the more the video goes on because he's coming up with all of these ridiculous excuses and Marvin just straight up believes him, not suspecting anything. I mean, it's kind of frustrating that Marvin isn't suspecting anything, but at the same time, it's funny because he's not suspecting anything. Then there was the Brooklyn guy thing, which it was a really good joke that I'll admit I fell for it. And the rest of the video just kinda has a good resolution where Marvin simply returns the Squishmallows, except for that one that Jeffy used his wiener on. All of this makes for a genuinely funny video. It was entertaining, I laughed, and I didn't get bored throughout the video, so yeah, this was actually a pretty good video. If I were to give this video a rating, I'd give it somewhere around 4 stars. It was a really good video. Well, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, as well as hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell for more content like this. If you want to go support me on Patreon, links will be provided in the description below, as well as links to my Instagram and DeviantArt pages for bonus content.